Yes, I'm Arnold Nippe from PeeringDB, and I'm also working for DKIX. But I'm now here in a function as a board member of PeeringDB and as chair of the admin committee of PeeringDB. So I have a couple of slides, but I will stay with this slide. I have a full deck of slides, roughly 50 pages, and where you are able to look at. So what is PeeringDB? So actually I'm just have to put this away. So what is PeeringDB? If you are a network and want to peer, you not only need information about the network, but you also need information perhaps about an internet exchange, and also about facilities where you're able to locate your gear. And that's the reason a guy, Richard Steenbergen, thought it was a good idea to have a database where you can find all these information just in a single place. It means PeeringDB not only has information about networks, but also about internet exchange point, as well as on facilities, and it puts nicely together, has contact information, and you are able to click around and find all the information just in one place. And what we did, because we found out that PeeringDB is useful, roughly 3.5 years ago, we decided to also have an organization behind it. So this led us to have an association found in, which is in Seattle. We have a board consisting of 6 people, and we have members, and who is able to be a member? Actually, almost everyone. Only you have to register with PeeringDB, and you have to subscribe to our governance mailing list, and then you are a member. Do you have to pay for it? No. You neither have to pay for being a member, not for using PeeringDB. It's for free. And how do we get the money for running PeeringDB? We are 100% relying on sponsorship. We have different sponsorship levels. We have a lot of sponsors. Basically, most of them are larger network which need this information, while peering with other members which use PeeringDB for automation and which are willing to give money for PeeringDB. If you are interested in, look up the information on PeeringDB, and every single cent is welcome. The association is around roughly now for 3 years. We are financially sound, and we try to make reserves for roughly 2 years, because we have to guarantee that PeeringDB is not only around for today, but also for tomorrow. What we did, we have annual meetings. The last annual meeting was last month, or the end of April actually, and we have roughly 330 members on the members list, and we also had elections. Every year we swap out half of the board, and the candidates were re-elected. Aaron and Joop stood as president and vice president and were re-elected. Basically, what's the main task of PeeringDB is to guarantee that we ensure a reliable, secure, and support of PeeringDB services. We have different committees. One of this is the operations committee, which looks after the physical infrastructure. We have basically one server where the database and the GUI is running on. We moved this service to the cloud beginning of this year. What we also did a couple of weeks ago, to load balance, because we found out that people were heavily using it, and we had some issues with that. But now with the load balancer in front of it, everything is fine again. Besides the operations committee, I also already mentioned the admin committee, which basically is our support group. This takes care of new requests for being listed at the database. So not everyone simply is able to register and goes into the database. If you register and try to register in new ASN or facility or IX, this will always create a ticket with the support and will be worked on. So currently we are able to work on every request within a day, which I guess is very professional. And if you think about that, everyone who is working for PeeringDB does this voluntarily. What we also try to do is to better describe how our services are, what we are guaranteeing. We try to have SLAs with the underlying services. As said, the infrastructure currently is running in the cloud. We want to have SLAs with the cloud provider. We are using a professional support desk. We also want to have an SLA with the support desk, and so on and so on. We also have to do more documentation, because what you currently find on the website is not as good documented as it could be. We are working on it. And I guess we also made a great progress. With the last version of PeeringDB, we installed internationalization. That means PeeringDB now is not only available in English as it was. What we did in the first rollout is to support Portuguese as a language, and currently we have already 15 teams working and implementing other language packages as well. Alexander volunteered to lead the translation to Russian, and you are welcome to join to also to translate to other languages which are needed. Besides the admin committee, we also have the product committee, which is a product committee. So we want to develop PeeringDB. We want to incorporate new features. As said, the language pack, for example, was something which was be sought for by the community. There are a lot of good ideas from the community, from the users. And if you have an idea, just go on our website. There's a link to GitHub. Just file an issue, or if you run into a bug, file an issue as well. We pick up, or the product committee picks up your proposal, and we are working to it and try to implement it as soon as possible. What we also do is, what I'm currently doing is outreach to tell about PeeringDB, what is in it. It's not only the graphical user interface, but what might be more useful is the API. This is a really powerful API which may be used for automating your peering services or just to grab information statistics from it. And I guess with this, I'm almost done. So what's left? PeeringDB does not stand alone. We also have external relations with the RIRs, where we get the information from about the networks. We also work with companies which are more specialized on databases for facilities, try to get information from them. We are working with IXF, because IXF also has information about IXPs. PCH has the same PCHs in this area almost for 20 years. They have a lot of information, and we try to cooperate with them as well. So this is from my side, and I'm happy to take any questions or suggestions.
Thank you. Any questions? Нет вопросов?
No?
Значит,
Спасибо.
Questions. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.